Kennedy's done.
Kennedy's done.
We'll wait for the details. According to
We're just going to go with audio here with Riley Beveridge, if you can still hear me. Yeah, Riley,
have you got me?
Yes, we've got you.
Yeah, so Matt Kennedy has gone to the Western Bulldogs for pick 38, but Brodie Kemp stays at Carlton, where he's contracted next year. St Kilda ultimately couldn't find an offer good enough for Brodie Kemp.
So 38 for Kennedy. It's about. It seems about
That's
right.
about right. Yeah, no, I really like it for the Western Bulldogs. I think it's an upgrade on McRae. I think it gives them some flexibility, some hardness. He won best clubman at Carlton this year, finished top 10 in their best, and Ferris was an important player for them. So there's no doubt Carlton have lost some depth. They will get some star quality in, and they're invested in the draft, which they said from day one they wanted to be, and they've followed through with that. Yes, it's come at the expense of their depth, and the Western Bulldogs have clearly lost some depth as well, but all those players they had fallen out of love with, so Kennedy comes in, and that is a big win. And also for the Western Bulldogs, the win for them is pick 25 for Caleb Daniel.
Hey guys, welcome to the final trade update here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel during the 2024 AFL trade period. You've just heard that Brodie Kemp is going to stay at Carlton, and to round out the trade period, we've just found out that Matt Kennedy will be leaving the Carlton Football Club and he will be joining the Western Bulldogs. It went right down to the wire at the very last second. In actual fact, it was announced after the clock had run out, but essentially there was a bit of confusion as to how it got done, given pick 38, which was involved in the swap, was Geelong's at the start of the day. Essentially, it's a 4-team deal. This is what it looks like roughly. And that's that. It's official. Matt Kennedy has left the Carlton Football Club. I'm going to be honest. I thought Kennedy and Kemp would both stay. I thought it was all just chitter chatter. And I thought once we got pick 3, that would be our business. But look, it got done. Clearly, Kennedy was open to exploring his options. There were reports that he had a 3-year deal offered to him by the Western Bulldogs. They ended up losing Caleb Daniel. They ended up losing Jack McRae. So there's an argument to be made that Kennedy will find a spot there. There's also an argument to be made that there's maybe 5 or so midfielders ahead of him at the Dogs anyway. So regardless, that is now a Western Bulldogs issue. And I'm actually really bit sad at this one. I liked Kennedy for everything he embodied. Like I said in the previous video about Brodie Kemp, there's no room for sentiment. I mean, there's space for feeling something. This is a guy who came across from the GWS Giants, had some deficiencies at the start. Was told that he was a bit slow. He worked on his game, got his opportunity, started coming good, but ultimately, found himself in a position where he didn't have a role to play. We weren't sure what he was. He'd play spurts in the midfield. He'd then play spurts in the forward line. He then eventually played spurts behind the ball and even in the ruck at times. And so maybe that was part of the reason why we weren't and why we aren't so desperate to keep him at the club. But it is what it is. I want a ruthless Carlton Football Club that is going to look to improve. And we're getting that. We've seen quite a few fan favourites go. I think the early sentiment, I can only guess, will be one of a bit of frustration because we all have this... we all have a link to the players because we are passionate about the club. And Kennedy hasn't done much wrong, let's be honest, especially with his ability to stay available and his ability to persevere and be resilient through challenges when it comes to not being selected. So it's done. Just to recap the deal, I'm currently filming as the updates have come. But yeah, as I showed you earlier, so Geelong get Bailey Smith, pick 45. They give up 17 and 38. The Saints essentially get Jack McRae and give up 45. The Dogs give up Bailey Smith, Jack McRae. They receive 17 to Matt Kennedy, and Carlton receive 38 and give up Matt Kennedy. So that's the deal. I guess this video will also mark, first of all, the final video of trade period before the deadline, even though I'm filming it at the deadline. And then secondly, just, to appreciate and show some respect for Matt Kennedy. We've already farewelled Matt Owies. And so, Kennedy's been great. I'll put together some highlights after I stop talking of, some of his his better performances this year, and that's that. And you know, that recaps a wild ride of trade period. You know, pick 13, and then Dan Houston, then pick 14, then it was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it was off, and then pick 3 came about, and then Brodie Kemp might have been going back with Sauce, and then he wasn't, and then Matt Kennedy at the very end, last deal of the day, goes to the Western Bulldogs. So that's been fun. I will leave it there. What do you think about the Matt Kennedy deal? We get pick 38 essentially for him. Let's chat about it in the comments. We will spend the next couple of days recapping trade period as a whole. We'll probably get more information about things as they come to light, and I will, of course, keep you all as updated as possible. But for now, I'll chat to you in the comments. Go Blues.
Left them vulnerable potentially to turn over, and that is what is going to materialise here. That's the second ruck today. It was awkward, to say the least. Kennedy tries to back in the middle to Koning this time against Briggs and Cripps. Cottrell's done it again. A handy goal. He's kicked Sickler on Cripps. Akers, low little reflex, handballs, dangerous kick. Cowan, well controlled by Kennedy. Very well controlled. It's combat, and it's good stuff. And Carlton win it back. Horrendous contest. Daniels edges the kick. Green and Kennedy, more than a match in the air.
Just put that 3 centre bounce goal quarter for Carlton into perspective. The last 9.
The forwards hold. Allaire got there that time before Mackay. Now Kennedy knew what was coming at. Start kick from Akers. Just had enough depth on it. Kennedy doesn't mark, but he's able to handball back quickly. Down Hewitt onto the left. Up to meet it, Kennedy. Is Durden. Kennedy again, having a big second term. Akers popping and hoping. Takes it wide. Still in dispute. Thomas gets bullied. Well done, Kennedy. Came out with footy in hand. Found a Tom Green. They come again, and Kennedy is there. All over Thomas. Whitfield to Bedford. In a rush it comes. It could have gone anywhere. Now well judged from Kennedy. He's grown in stature today as well. Kennedy. The crowd are roaring here at Marvel. It's not what transpires. Almost thrown out that time from off to Carroll, to Kennedy, who's enjoying his 100th game. All the moves, the little fella, but can't get through. Knocked away Young. They'll come again, but maybe that's the moment they'll live to regret. Sets it up to Koning at the back. And his 100th! Oh, Matthew Kennedy will celebrate that with glee. She's all over at Marvel. Bluer than blue.
To cap off the day.
Not sure he's ever kicked a goal quite like that before. He shoots, he scores.
Kennedy. Blues out everywhere. Olajasny in all sorts of trouble. Just got the handball away. But Kennedy can pick and choose from here.
To Koning in front this time. Caught in the end. They'll clear it. Duncan's right in the hunt here. Now has he dragged it in? Big decision here.
To Koning out. And Kennedy. Hawkins. Turnover. Kennedy. Players here. Tommy de Koning, one of them. Kennedy busy early. Clever to Williams. This time Sam jumps in, but Walsh brings it away. Kennedy. Chincotta's been tried to punch his way through. Blitzar's taken.
Duncan pursued by Owies. Owies was careful not to give away the free. It's interesting how he's coping with that defence.
Superb. Really difficult ball to handle.
Newman. Everywhere you look, they just got bigger bodies.
Pop up, and that might be 50 for an important early strike here for the Blues, and he has got it.
They play through the midfield, but as you said, he can push forward and kick a goal.
Tonight, it's amazing. It's great to see Kennedy.
Dominated that day, as we know, as Kennedy away.